What is going on, everybody? Normal Yugioh here today from, what is this channel name? Yumi and Decree here today doing a regional report with my Zings. It was a San Antonio regional here in Texas, and I ended up going 5 and 3. I came out 42nd, so I mean that wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. So yeah, I'm gonna just go over like what I played and then kind of choose some of the choices and whatnot. Mind that a few of these decisions I made at the regional, and a lot of the cards I actually picked up at the regional. So and also I played this deck with maximum 4 hours playtesting the night before. Didn't play at locals or anything. Picked up like last Saturday, the 17th or the 15th, and then I just decided to play this instead of Shadal's. So yeah, let's get into the deck. I played 3 Suwani. This is your main beater. He's like a 19, and one of the best targets for Mass Chameleon. When this guy is used to synchro, then the synchro monster gains 500, which is really good to like beat over monsters. And it's also good for when you, I think, when you go into Leo, yeah, when you go into Leo, you can still beat over Towers, because he's at 31, and Towers is at 3k, unless they have one of the cool forts up. 3 Bixie. This guy is probably the best Zing as far as the effect goes, because his effect is when this monster is used to synchro summon, they can't activate traps, or the monster is unaffected by traps. So unless they have warning or Blackhorn or something to negate the summon, they really can't do anything. So it's just like the best Zing monster overall. 3 Bayan. This guy makes the synchro monster not be destroyed by battle. And also, all these monsters, the Zing monsters, are floaters, so whenever they're destroyed, they bring out another one, just not itself, and most of them specify whether an attack or defense position, so that's very crucial to the play. And this guy's also a 16 beater, so it's not that bad. 2 Chewin. I was going to play 3, but my friend convinced me to play one of the Jiaotou Darkness of the Zing, but I'll get into that in a second. I was going to play 3 and pick up the 3rd one from my friend, but then he was like, nah, play this guy, he's pretty good. But basically what this guy does is he's a level 1 tuner, and 0 attack, 0 defense, and when a Zing monster is destroyed by battle, or my card effect? Oh, yeah, destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or a card effect, then you could special summon this guy from the grave, and when he is sent to the graveyard by any means, then he's banished after that. So it's a really good effect. It's good for synchro plays. And one more thing I might want to add, all the Zing monsters have the same effects. They're floaters, and they can be used as they can synchro during your opponent's turn. So and then another tuner I play is Jiaotou Darkness of the Zing. This guy's actually pretty good. I never used second effect. I mainly just used him for the 2k ass and the tuner effect. But what he does is the floater effect and all that, and then the synchro during your opponent's turn. But also, when this is the only monster that you control, you can discard 2 Zings, special one from the deck with 0 attack and one from the deck with 0 defense. Also using him, so it's an instant synchro play. So he's pretty good, but I never used the effect at this regional. One Paolo. That's what I took. I was playing 2 of these, and then I actually decided to pick this guy up, so I decided to play him. All he does is protect him from spells, so I don't think that's really relevant. Unless you're playing against spellbooks, then it's very relevant. That's it for the Zing monsters. I believe it's like 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. Close enough. Which is pretty much all you need, unless you want to run another Chewin, make it 41 cards. Next, 2 Mass Chameleon. This is really good for synchro plays. The main guy that you're going to be specialing is Suwani, but you could also special summon Bien. So, yeah, anyway, it's really good for synchro plays. You can make 8s or 7s, or if you already have a monster on board, even 10s, stuff like that. 11s. 2 fire hand, 2 ice hand. This really put in a lot of work. I actually played against, round 7, I played against like some hand trap tricks deck. They weren't running artifacts, it just hands and trap tricks, every single trap trick. So this really put in work against their hands, because they were like, oh, attack your set monster, and then I flipped the hand, and then I was like, okay, destroy your hand, and then mine specials, and then the one that they attacked with was an ice hand, so I didn't get the effect because I didn't have any back row. That was really good, and also skill drain put in a lot of work against that deck. And then lastly for the monsters, 1 glow bulb. I picked this up at the regional because I tested like 1 game on DN with my friend, and glow bulb actually put in work on DN. I only pulled this summon off once, and I lost that game. I got 2 of it. So that's all for the monsters. I think it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 monsters, which is a good number. 2 Zing Path or a Pot of Dichotomy. This is a really good top deck card because it's basically a Pot of Greed, and you get rid of your monsters in grave and recycle the deck. So it's a really good card. And nobody plays UD Crow anymore. 2 MST for Floodgates. I was playing 3 and I think 1. No. Yeah, I was playing 3 MST and then siding 3 Dust Tornado until right when I got to the event. And then I was like, I really need room for the new tuner guy and the second Mass Chameleon, so I just cut it down to 2 and sided the 3rd. 1 Soul Charge for synchro plays. You could use Boxy's effect to bounce all the cards that you want, make them neg a bunch of cards, especially cards that could get over it or attack you for game. So it's a really good card in general. And I decided to play Dankhole instead of Regeki because if they have, like, say, a BLS on field and you have a Bixie set, then or you have a Bixie in hand, you could set the Bixie, activate Dark Hole, send the Bixie, special a Suwano, and then attack for game. If it's very conditional, but it could happen. Next for the traps, that's only like 6 spells, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 3 creation. This is the best card in the deck. The head judge there actually ruled that you can't activate this during damage step, which I thought was kind of stupid because the conditions are being met. But I guess I'm not a head judge for a reason, so. But that's understandable. But a lot of friends at locals told me that I could, so I was just. When I picked up the deck, I was like, oh shit, that's cool. So. Next, at the last minute, I decided to put it up to 2. I played Yangzing Brutality. I was playing 1, and then I was like, wait, Bujins are technically still a deck. And also just monsters that are higher than 1900 attack, aka Suwani, do exist. So I thought it was really good because being able to ask your opponent damage step while playing a floater deck is just an amazing feeling. And it's just an overall good card. It's a crane, and then your monster dies, which doesn't matter because it's a floater. So that's really great. Next, we play 3 Skill Drain. This card put in work. I was thinking about playing 2 and then siding the 3rd, which against some matchups I sided out the 3rd. Like against Bujins because he was playing some weird build. So this just put in work overall against every deck. I played against 4 Satellite players, lost to all of them, or 3 Satellite players, and those are my 3 losses. And this was the only thing that kept me alive against a few games, so it's really great. Another effect negator is Breakthrough Skill. I played this at 2 rather than 3 because I wanted to fit in wiretaps in case they try to wiretap it. So it was great. So all throughout the day, my opponent tried to activate traps, and I said no. Even when they I activated Skill Drain. This was actually a scenario that happened against a Bujin player. Um, I activated skill drain because he said in phase Yamato effect, so I changed skill drain as chainlink 2. He chained a wiretap as chainlink 3. I chained a wiretap as chainlink 4. He chained a wiretap as chainlink 5, and I chained wiretap as chainlink 6. So, and then he was out of wiretap, so I won that chainlink. So it was actually pretty amazing that I had both set, or else I would have negged 1,000 and negged another card. So then for the 1-up traps we played Compulse, Bottomless, and Warning. The only reason that I started playing Bottomless again is because Coldforts. But then again, it's also good against a lot of decks, like they summon Constructs and Shaddolls, then you can Bottomless it, and they won't get the effect to add the Shaddol Fusion. It's kind of conditional, but it doesn't really matter when Coldforts are the main priority deck, and Shaddolls are kind of dead, honestly. But I threw the Compulse in just to bounce extra deck monsters. Also in the mirror match, which never happened. So it's overall pretty good lineup. I was playing Torrential until the very last minute, and then I had to cut it for the Glow Bulb. So tough decisions. For the extra deck, I'm missing 2 cards because I was borrowing them, which I'll just tell you now. This was a Star Eater and a Crimson Blader. So just so you know. 1 Armory Arm for a 4. This deck plays from 4 all the way to 11, so that also works with one of my side deck choices. So Armory Arm, Piercing, gains 1,000. Armades did work against the Bujin player and the Hand Trap Tricks player. It's really great. Yugioh just takes monsters, attack over if your opponent's playing hands, because the Bujin player was playing Bujin hands, so I attacked over the hand. He destroyed Yugioh, I took his fire hand, and then when he summoned Yamato, the next turn I attacked into his Yamato because he sent a turtle, and I guess he misplayed or something. Next we got 1 Black Rose. I never went into this, mainly because if I made a 7 play, I went to Yazi. So, and I also, 99% of the chance, if I would want to make a Black Rose play, I didn't have enough material or a field advantage, and if I had the material to make a 7, I chose to make Yazi because it would be the better play, and I wouldn't neg myself out of so many cards. Next, 2 Yazi. I picked these up at the last minute. I think for like 7 and 6, or the other way around. But this card really put in work, can't be targeted. If you use Boxia to go into it, and Suwani, then you're kind of golden. The really only thing that could get around it is like Regeki or Dankle or something like that. So it's a 31 beater, can't be targeted, can't be affected by traps. And yeah. Next for the 8s, I play 2 Boxia. This card is amazing. It's a compulse for as many worm type monsters that you use to synchro with it. I made this card so many times. I chose this card over any other the 8s like 99% of the time, unless they had like 5 back row. And if they did have 5 back row, that's when I would make the Stardust. Because if they bottomless, I'd just be like negate and then end phase. But the thing is that keep this in mind when you're playing the deck. If you use Suwani to synchro into Stardust, and he will gain the 500, Stardust will gain the 500 when it hits the field. Just if you tribute it and then special it during the end phase, it will be back at 25. It's something really stupid, but it doesn't matter. Next one, Thought Ruler. I did this for Burning Abyss, but I never played against it, so which was very, very mind-blowing. Because it was everywhere. It was that and Coldforts. It was these are the 4 main decks that were there. It was Coldfort, Burning Abyss, Zing, and Satel Knights, and then just rogue decks. There were no Shaddolls that I saw. Next for another 8 is a Scrap Dragon. This card's actually really amazing. It's because I think Boxia's effect is like something like you tribute a Yang Zing to destroy a card in the field or something like that. It's one of their effect, Yazi or Boxia. But this is basically the same thing. And then the Yang Zing will get their effect, so it's actually a really great card. Next for a 9, we play 1 Mistworm. I actually went into this once, and I bounced 3 cards and attacked for 29 direct, and then next turn he just set 3 cards and passed, and I was like, lol. So it's pretty great. And then finally 1 Leo. Leo actually won me my game 3 against the hand Trap Tricks player, because it was a grind game. We were both at like, I was at like 52 to his 54, and it was like 5 minutes before time. And I made this with a Suwani, a Boxia, and I want to say, how many is that? 4. And a Mass Chameleon. So it was a 24, or a 36 that can't be targeted and unaffected by traps. So it was amazing. He couldn't get rid of it, so he just scooped. So it was actually a really amazing play that I went to that. I made that decision rather than going into Mistworm and attacking for game. And then for the side deck, I made some really weird choices. I was not prepared for Satell Knights, except for like 2 cards. I was gonna side pulling the rug, but my friend told me not to because he said Satell Knights were rogue, and at this event apparently not, because I guess there was a lot of rogue players there. But 3 Vanity's Fiend. I sided this in at least 2 against every matchup, almost, except for the Bujin player, obviously. I think I got the summon off once, but it didn't stay on for long because it got Deep Prisons. So, 1 Neospatian Grand Mole. This card did work against the Bujin player. I bounced back his Susano and his Yamato, and he just kept forgetting that I had it in hand, so he was like, summon Yamato, and in phase effect, I was like, sure, and I was like, go off with all my synchro plays, normal summon, Grand Mole, attack your Yamato, bounce, and then attack with the synchro, put in damage. So, that was actually really good. And then 1 TK. This was one of the 2 cards that I guess was good against the Telenites. But Trigger is a card, and that was basically the card I lost to all day. So 1 Mind Control. I sided this in against, I can't remember one matchup I didn't side this card in against, except for Fortune Ladies, which is very, very rogue. But I played against Fortune Ladies, and yeah, I didn't side that in against this, with this. The final MST, as I said, I had to cut it, so I made room on the side, which the room was taking out 2 Dust Tornadoes, or cutting Dust Tornado down to 2, which I really didn't want to. Next for Cold Forts was 3 Spell Shattering Arrow, also Fire Fist if it made a surprise guest appearance. But I sided this mainly for Cold Forts, never saw him, but I mean, it's a good side deck card overall. And if you do go against them, it gives you a great advantage. The reason you don't play Fairy Wind and you play this card is because you have traps of your own, such as Skill Drain, and which you're obviously going to side out against theirs. That matchup for obvious reasons. But you have the creation, so you really don't want to get rid of it, because creation is very crucial in this deck. 3 Chain Disappearance, the 3rd one I dropped. Yeah, 3 Chain Disappearance for Burning Abyss and the Mirror Match, but never saw either. So, and finally 2 Dust Tornado. This was at 3, but I had to throw in the 3rd MST, so I had to take out the 3rd Dust Tornado, which is a very sad thing that I had to do, but you know, I had to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did go X3. 3 of my friends got top 4, which was very surprising. That 3 people from my locals made top 4. One of them was Frankie, the other one was Ryan, and the other one was Logan. So, shout out to them. And my friend Frankie actually was siding Blue Eyes. I'm gonna have to ask him the logic behind that. It's probably for Quill Forts, I'm assuming, but really random. But that's not my business though. But thank you guys for watching, and if you like the deck profile, go ahead and leave it a like, and see you on the next one.